So you are now entering Slim's Thoughts. And in this segment, I offer you my opinion about a topic or a subject matter of interest. And tonight I want to discuss the difference between what we desire versus what we require, and also understanding preferences versus absolutes. And I think maybe I'll start that way, talking about the differences between preferences and absolutes. Because I think in our lifetime, there are moments when they merge for us. And I think we have to be careful of that. So what is a preference? A preference is something that you have a greater liking for, an alternative over something else. So it's something you have a great liking for, and something that essentially you would select if you have an option. You would have a preference for something. You have an option, it's something that you have a greater likeness for, liking towards, right? But what's an absolute? An absolute is having no restriction, exceptions, or qualifications, a requirement. So without exception, you require this. Without qualification, without restriction, you require it. That's what an absolute is, which is much different than a preference. And I offer that backdrop in talking about what we desire versus what we require. And for me, I want to sort of just use an example about us in a relationship and express that there were times that I've dated in my dating life, in my dating history, I went after what I desired. As a married man, I married a woman that I require. And it wasn't until I understood the difference that I could actually even get here, quite frankly. I didn't know what I required. I didn't know what my absolutes were. It was my preferences that I thought were the mark, that I thought was the goal. I thought was the shiny thing, that if I achieved what I liked the most, then there's where my fulfillment will come. But that's not it. And it was never it. But it was only in achieving what I required do I feel fullness of self. So my Slim's thoughts to you all is make sure in your life, because it's not just relationships where this comes into play in terms of understanding the difference between preferences and absolutes, what you require versus what you desire. It's in many ways you can apply this. And so I would just encourage you to do some personal due diligence to make sure that you're pursuing things that you require versus putting your energy into just the things you desire. Because if you pursue the things that you require, the other things will be added. You know, that for me, purposeful living is what I require. And I think if I pursue that, all the other interests and preferences that I have will be added unto me. So that's my Slim's thought I'm going to leave with you tonight, folks.